Hello everyone out there. How are you all doing? I'm Kate Hill, bringing you the absolute best in content on property out there, along with fantastic hints and tips. Today, stay tuned for all your latest property news. The auction market is continuing to perform well, with clearance rates surpassing 70% for the second week in a row. CoreLogic figures show that the national clearance rate hit 74% last week across the combined capital cities. Adelaide had the highest clearance rate at 80%, followed by Sydney at 76% and Melbourne also at 76%. Canberra's clearance rate was 77%, followed by Brisbane at 57%. CoreLogic says that the auction volumes were low, with 1,673 homes going under the hammer last week, which was 42% lower than the same time last year. It says that the lack of stock, coupled with unprecedented population growth and the rental crisis, is creating a sense of fear of missing out in the market, which is helping to drive prices higher. Sydney had the highest value increase of 3.8%, followed by Perth at 1.7%, Brisbane at 1.3%, Melbourne 0.9% and Adelaide at 0.3%. Investors can breathe a sigh of relief to a degree, with the Prime Minister shutting down discussions over changes to negative gearing. I can't believe we're even still talking about this. The comments come after rumours emerged that some Labor Party members were looking for a change to cap negative gearing to one property to prevent distortion of the property market. Once again, providing proof that many Labor MPs simply do not understand the basics of how the economy or the property markets work. Nothing against the Labor Party itself, of course, but it continues to baffle me how clueless these people are. For those who don't know, Australia's negative gearing rules allow people who make a loss on an unlimited number of investment properties to claim some of that loss back as part of their tax deductions. They also provide the bulk of Australia's rental accommodation. Think rental crisis. This is why we've got a rental crisis. Just see what would happen if we didn't have them. And indeed, we have this rental crisis now, not because of too many foreign investors, not because of greedy investors, and not because of people claiming negative gearing deductions, but because too many mum and dad investors have been prevented from doing what they do best, which is provide rental accommodation for over 75% of everyday Australians who often don't always want to buy property. There's all sorts of people out there. Do not believe all the hogwash that you read in the papers. Negative gearing has nothing to do with Australia's rental crisis. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says that he will be honouring the pre-election commitment to leave negative gearing alone. He says that they are working on other measures to increase housing affordability and supply, including the $10 billion Housing Australia Future Fund. Although legislation to create the fund has been held up in the Senate following calls to include better protection for renters. Of course, one of the best ways to do that is to increase the supply. So good luck with that. Remember why you lost the previous two elections, Labor. There was a reason for that. Okay, enough ranting, but yikes, it absolutely drives me mad and baffles me all at the same time that I'm even still talking about this. The Victorian government's annual budget includes changes to property taxes. Commercial and industrial properties will no longer have stamp duty, but will be subject to an annual property tax. Residential stamp duty remains unchanged. The Victorian government also targets owners of holiday homes, introducing a new flat rate of up to $975 and an additional levy on land values for second homes or investment properties. This measure will be in effect for 10 years. The tax-free threshold for general land tax rates will decrease from $300,000 to $50,000 for non-principal residents. Victorian Treasurer Tim Pallas believes that these changes will remove barriers to large investment and stimulate business growth. Go figure. The new property tax system for commercial and industrial properties will be phased in from mid-2024, with the tax payable 10 years after the transaction. The first purchaser after July 1st, 2024 can choose to pay the final stamp duty upfront or transition to annual payments over 10 years through a government-facilitated loan. In contrast, the New South Wales government has withdrawn an annual land tax that was proposed as an alternative to residential stamp duty. The first home buyer choice scheme in New South Wales will be eliminated, but the threshold for stamp duty exemptions for first homeowners will be raised from $650,000 to $800,000. Stamp duty concessions will also apply to property purchases between $800,000 and $1 million. Now, the latest quarterly CoreLogic Regional Market Performance Report analyses 25 of Australia's largest non-capital city regions, examining performance across both house and unit markets over the 12 months to April 23. 7 of these recorded an increase in house values over the year to April 23, which is down from 13 over the year to January. South Australia's southeast region was the best performing regional housing market in terms of values, rising almost 11% over the year to April. This was followed by the New England and northwest New South Wales and Bunbury WA regions, which are up 4.9% and 4.8% respectively. At the other end of the scale, New South Wales's lifestyle markets recorded some of the largest annual declines in house values. The region that includes Byron Bay, Lismore, Ballina and Tweed Heads was once again the weakest performing regional market for houses. Not only did it record the largest annual decline in values, but it also recorded the largest drop in annual sales activity and the highest vendor discounting rate. All 25 regions recorded an annual decrease in the number of house sales over the year to February 23, with the 3 smallest decreases occurring in Queensland. Houses sold fastest in Toowoomba in Queensland over the 3 months to April, with a median time on market of around 21 days, followed by WA's Bunbury region at 27 days. Now, these regions also recorded the lowest vendor discounting across the 25 regions. Houses across the Southern Highlands and Shoalhaven region took the longest to sell, with a median time on market of around 79 days. Now, I will keep you posted as always on all things property from around Australia as our year progresses. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye.